Yep, there you go.
We're live?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like it.
Wow.
Yeah. Welcome to the inaugural Hardcast podcast. Welcome to the Hardline Health and Fitness production studio. Anyway, I'm here with Dr. Trent Kerr. I am Brian Baker. First podcast. We've been talking about doing this for a while. Here we are.
Yeah, a couple of years.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're sitting around not doing anything. But,
That's right.
Yeah, we made it.
That's right. So first off, how was your Christmas?
Oh, it was great, man. We hung out. Hold on, I got feedback coming.
Oh boy, we need to close our YouTube apps. It's a rookie move. That's
First
a rookie
timers.
move.
Yeah, first timers. Christmas was great. Just chilled with the family. Had a lot of food, a lot of drink. It was good. How about you guys?
About the same thing. Chilled with the family, food and drink. Ate like a 5-year-old, basically. So probably need to maybe go on a cleanse or something. Watch my diet a little bit. The intake was a little, like I said, like a 5th grader. I had toaster strudels at one point, so that kind of tells you how the rest of the weekend went, right?
Oh man, yeah. Cookies for breakfast.
Oh,
a couple
yeah,
times.
pumpkin pie. Right.
Key
Right.
lime
It was a
pie.
good Christmas. It was a good Christmas.
Absolutely.
I usually use Christmas as my my excuse to eat like that, and then it turns into a whole month of December. And then January comes around, I'm like, okay, that's enough, right? That's enough.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving right in.
Right.
Really, Thanksgiving is the start of
I would say
December.
Halloween kind of starts it.
Oh,
for
see,
me.
now we're
Because
doing
we're still out trick or treating.
Now we're just doing a quarter of the year.
Yeah, we still have the kids trick or treating
Gotcha.
and bringing home the candy. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha. Anyway, Hardcast podcast, first one we've ever done. People are like, who are you guys, right? And I introduce you as Dr. Trent Kerr. I'm Brian Baker. We are co-founders of Hardline Health and Fitness, which is an at-home programming, what would you call it, company that people want to work out at home or work out at their gym. They don't have any programming. We can give it to them, right?
Yeah, and the programming goes from body weight to some CrossFit stuff that we program.
Right.
And then just getting in the gym and going old school weightlifting.
Right.
So,
And we kind of came from CrossFit roots, right? I mean, we both went to Farm Boy CrossFit for many, many years.
That's where
but
it
I was
started.
going to ask you, Trent, like, how did this all start?
I'm
Like,
gonna say-
take us back to young Trent. Tell us how athletics started into the weight room, into coming into Farm Boy CrossFit, into where we are now.
yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. You're a doctor.
Well, that's not a real
I mean, let's
doctor.
not get ahead of
Anybody-
ourselves, guys. If
anybody's having a heart
something
attack out
happens
there, I'm not
medically,
helping you.
we still call 911.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
is a doctor.
Brian's
Okay.
going to save you way before I'm going to save you. That's for darn
And
sure.
that's for the one person probably watching this,
I
Sandy.
think we had 2.
I think one was
one
you.
was with me?
Yeah.
Okay,
But
good. Hey,
we'll have
Mom.
one person watching this because we know your mom's going to.
She's on it.
Yeah.
So, played high school sports, went to college, played football. And when I got out, was a PE teacher and in the weight room with the kids, really got into the bigger, faster, stronger and taught that to the students. We had some good times in there, but my workout was one of those things of, all right, I'm going to do what the kids are doing. But if you were late to class and you needed to get in, they knew they could bring me a burrito and get in. So my diet was not on point.
Sure.
It never
sure.
was. We just
Right.
Gatorades and
Right.
burritos. It was good.
When
Breakfast
did
burritos
you
were
start in the
delicious.
weight room, though?
So, really back when I was in high school, that was back in the 90s, there wasn't a ton of the weight room. I don't know how you had it.
Yeah.
In Greeley, it might have been a little different than in Pete's.
We
Pete's,
had a weight
had a
room.
universal machine. That
We
was it.
had a weight room. Few people were in there, but it wasn't like something we all did.
But you were a basketball guy.
I did play basketball. I didn't want to
Straight
screw up that
hoops.
shot.
No.
I didn't want to screw up the
I
shot.
know how
Like,
that lives.
coach would be like, get in the weight room. I'm like,
I'm not going to mess up the
please,
gym,
yeah.
coach.
yeah.
Not going to mess up the gym.
Should have been in the gym, but
So really, I guess when I got to college, I learned kind of what it was about.
Gotcha.
And we had our strength and conditioning coach was an intern at Nebraska, the U.
ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of years before that. So came out. So we were doing the same stuff that the University of Nebraska was doing. So really got into kind
back
of
when
the
Nebraska
powerlifting.
was Nebraska.
Nebraska was Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had there were dudes, linemen that were coming into our weight room where I played ball at Midland, just NAIA, not
Sure.
big, but
Sure.
coming in there. Zach Wiegert would come in and throw on some weight for all you Nebraska fans out there. And yeah, we knew what weight was, but then started doing this in teaching. And, one time, I think it was you
Uh-oh.
invited me to come do the CrossFit stuff.
Yeah.
And
Took you a while.
I'm not doing the CrossFit
while.
stuff.
Right.
My wife would do it, but
Right.
me and Steve Kopetsky would go down into the basement and we would do Insanity.
Oh yeah.
Or we would do P90X.
A little P90X.
Oh yeah,
action.
we had all that stuff.
I think everybody did that.
Yeah, it was great.
It was great.
It was good. And then I would come into the gym and work out with the kids. Still get the weights in. But then it was the one time, and so we had a bet, guys, and this was the 49ers Ravens Super Bowl. And if it wouldn't been for the power outage, I probably never would have showed up at your place. That changed everything.
Yep.
But showed up at your place and did a CrossFit workout, and then I kind of fell in love with that. And I walked out of that gym and I threw up. We got down a quarter mile of the house. I told my wife, hurry up, get in the car.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, we drove a quarter mile down the road and I'm out the car throwing up because I wasn't going to get beat by it.
It's not our goal of every workout, guys. It just meant he went hard.
I was a little too hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of it. And then I kind of, the CrossFit thing made me feel like an athlete again.
Sure.
Lost some weight, got back in the gym, started doing some.
Became a coach, became level 1 certified.
Yeah, you had me in the gym doing all that kind of stuff.
It was
so
awesome.
I was trying to mess people up all the time in there. But no, it was great. So yeah, I thank you for getting me going on all that kind of stuff and kind of led us to today.
Oh, right. That's where we are.
Now, how about you? Because your journey is a lot different than mine.
My journey, like you said, I went to high school in the 90s. Didn't know what a weight room was. Never went into a weight room. Played basketball. It wasn't a huge thing, right? It was mostly conditioning and plyometrics that we did. Didn't do a lot of weights. We didn't do jump ropes. No, not coordinated.
I figured you guys had to jump ropes. Yeah, trip and fall.
So did that. Wanted to be a fireman. That's what I wanted to be. When I became a fireman, I learned real quickly that I was undersized and understrengthed.
How big were you?
I was about 5'11", about the same height.
You're 6 foot. I'm 5'10". You're 6 foot.
Yeah,
You got 2 inches on me.
And about 135 to 45 pounds. Tiny. Like, in fact, a friend and I went to I think it was the grocery store or something like that when I started with Cheyenne Fire. And we were both in our fire regalia. And she actually said to me, I can see him being a fireman, but I can't see you being a fireman.
Oh,
and I thought, something has to change. Yeah. Yeah, something has to change. So my first senior guy, his name was Bill Hetzel. He got me into the weight room. He was a big, strong dude. Got me into the weight room and got me into the firefighter combat challenge. So basically,
Bill's still out there getting after it?
He's a machine.
Yeah. That way, Bill.
So he got me into lifting weights and competing. All in the same thing. So basically, I wanted to become an asset to my fire company. I didn't want to be a liability, and I knew probably at that time my strength,
pounds,
my strength and size was a liability. Yeah, and the funny thing is when you're trying to become a fireman, that's all you want to be, and then you become a fireman, and then you're like, oh man, I better change some things up so I can really become a fireman, right? So yeah, I wanted to be an asset, not a liability. Slowly and surely got me into weightlifting. But weightlifting like he did, just big. Just want to be big, lift big weights, biceps, triceps,
squats,
buys and backs. Yeah, standard stuff like that everybody does. So then I did the Firefighter Combat Challenge, which was CrossFit-y-like, but it was all fire related, right? And then as I got more and more into it, I got exposed to CrossFit. Actually, at a Firefighter Combat Challenge competition, a guy said, "What do you do to train?" And I said, basic stuff. I said, "What do you do?" He said, "CrossFit. Check it out." And so I went online, checked it out, did it at home. About a 10-minute workout took me about 45 minutes. I was laying in the backyard after I finished the workout, and my son was at the screen door at the porch. He goes, "Dad, you gonna be okay?" I said, "Yeah." And I was hooked ever since.
Little Tucker?
Yeah, I was hooked ever since, and I thought this is the coolest thing. So started doing CrossFit, got certified. My wife and I ended up opening our own gym, Farm Boy CrossFit, which we had for 8 years. It was an awesome time. That's how we met. Basically, we met before that, but I guess
pretty close to the whole town.
Yeah.
Community in Wiggy.
Yeah, we had quite the little community. It was awesome, and then that led us into where we are now with Hardline Health and Fitness with at-home programming. And it was really COVID.
Yeah,
that started that whole thing, right? I mean, people got kicked out of their gyms, had to go home, had to figure out what to do.
Yeah, you couldn't lift in any gym. I mean, no, even like the weight room here,
right
in the school, we shut down. So yeah, that was crazy.
So we did those live Facebook things.
I did it one time and got grilled. Did the filthy 50, and man, everybody said they weren't coming back. Not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
So we had to change up the programming a little bit for sure.
Yeah, so that's how we kind of got started, and then now we kind of just are on the way. But
Yeah.
this podcast we've been talking about for years, but it's not going to be strictly about that. It's going to be about whatever we want to talk about. It could be about cold fusion, nuclear. I don't know. Cold fusion.
We're going to have to bring in Dr. Solomon for that.
I could do cold brew. I could talk about cold brew. I don't know about cold fusion.
Yeah.
But anyway, we can go anywhere we want with this thing. It doesn't have to be about Hardline Health and Fitness. It doesn't have to be about at-home programming. We'll bring in guests. We'll talk about what they want to talk about, what they're experts in. Kind of delve into whatever we want. That's what's cool about this, right?
It's a blank canvas.
Blank
Yeah.
canvas.
We go any direction we want.
And hopefully entertain some people along the way.
Yeah.
I mean, we know we'll have one. Your mom will watch every week, no matter what we do.
Sandy, when she drives to work Monday morning, whatever day this decides to air,
right.
she's going to be watching it.
It's a blessing.
I know it. Mom, you're the best.
She is awesome.
You're the
She
best.
is awesome. And then also, obviously, we're going to keep up on the CrossFit news, right? We're going to keep up on the new things happening in CrossFit. We can discuss it. We can talk about who we think is going to win, who we think is going to do this, and what just rolled out. I don't know if you saw, Tia Claire Toomey,
Pregnant.
Prego.
Yeah, that opens the door.
Huge.
Opens
6
the door.
years in a row she's
Mal?
won this thing. What do you think?
I'm putting my money there.
I'm saying Laura. Poor Beth.
All right.
Just because that girl is a machine. She has one little weakness with handstand push-ups, but she can overcome it. She did it at
Jam
Rogue.
figured that out.
She can do it at the games. There's enough events. I'm thinking Laura,
All right.
but Mal is right in there, right? She's the young gun. She's the one everybody's
She's the
looking
one.
at underneath Matt Frazier, getting
An American.
yeah,
Right?
right.
An American.
That's
gal.
weird,
We need an American gal to get this done.
right?
Yeah.
It's been since Carrie Pierce basically got on the podium, right?
You got a better memory than I do.
Oh, well, I think she's the last one to podium
She's the last
that's an
one.
American.
Yeah.
So, and she's just retired, so it's not going to be her again. But Mal, that'd be great. She's young, right?
19, 20?
Yeah, I think she'll be 19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to do that, she might become the
Yeah,
next
she'll.
Matt Frazier.
Well, that's the thing. And that reminds me, what do you like? Do you like people say, Froning did
I
it for
like
4 years?
people.
Yeah.
I do.
Froning did it for 4 years. Fraser did it for 5. T has just done it for 6. Do you enjoy watching? That's greatness, right? It's like watching MJ.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
do you enjoy watching greatness, or do you want to see it competitive every year?
I'd like to see it a little more competitive, but it is. I mean, you look at the guys. There's second place, third
Now.
place. That changes up.
Now,
But even then,
Is
right?
Matt
Weren't
that?
they changing up? I mean, first, yes, he was. But who was getting second? Who was getting third?
Sure,
You had
sure.
Shelton 1 year. You
Yep.
had Fikowski. You had.
Yep.
Gosh dang it, the dude with the mullet. Love him. The little guy.
Medeiros?
Medeiros.
Yeah.
He's great.
yeah,
So you had some of that going on, but no, I really like to see a little more competition. I'd like to see it. I think it will now.
I think
do.
on the men's side, well, now
Unless
that,
Medeiros
now
just-
that T is Prego, I think
I think
it's
we'll
going to
see
be
it on the
super
women's.
competitive
Yeah.
right over there. Medeiros won 2 years in a row,
Yep.
right? So
He might be coming on next.
I don't know. I see it going to be very competitive because I think you have Roman Krenikov, you have Ricky Garrard, right? There's your podium from last year, but I think Roman
Roman just died on the wall balls.
Yeah.
I mean, that was 20 foot or whatever it was. That's a long ways up there. But
heavy and high,
Man.
right?
yeah, I thought he was going to take it.
I
That was
think
good enough to
I
have a
think
story to come
Roman
back.
is the one that is going to be
He's a big dude.
big dude, is a machine on the machines.
Yeah.
And he's now living in the U.S. Doesn't have to deal with the visas and getting over here and this and that, and going to a
Family over with him.
sanctional over there. Yeah,
That'll help.
I think it'll kind of put some consistency in his life, and then he can come in and.
I'm going to have to read up on my CrossFit stuff.
Oh,
You got it a little better than I do.
well,
You got it. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, my wife's accused me of being a nerd a time or two of watching CrossFit YouTube stuff.
If it's
and
not
then-
Harry Potter, it's CrossFit.
and then watching off-season competitions.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Tia being pregnant was a huge surprise.
And are you going to jump back in it this year?
In the Open,
Yeah.
I think I'll probably throw my hat in the Open to see what we can do.
Because let's talk about kind of what you're doing right now. I think what you're doing is extremely impressive. What you
appreciate
have
it.
going on.
It's not extremely smart,
Oh,
but
guys. So Brian is is involved in he's doing a hero wad every day. And those that don't know what a hero wad is, can you kind of explain that?
So a hero wad is basically a wad that's been made for somebody that has been killed in the line of duty, whether that be military, first responder, so firefighter, police, EMS, military, somebody who's been killed in the line of duty. That's usually what a hero wad is made for.
So we did and then you kind of speak to this, but in June, we got together. It was June 1st, right? Or May 31st?
June 1st we started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've taken it to the extreme.
Yeah, we were first going to start with 30 days of hero wads, which was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And then I thought, man, I'll get this great idea and I'll do a year of them, right? And so we're at day 210 right now. So we're on the downside. So, but it's been tough.
So when Brian started this, for a buddy, which is very honorable, Patrick Mahan, we did the workout in the gym. We could either choose Murph or Mahan, and all of Pat's family came,
right?
And the fire department, which was extremely awesome. We held it in Wiggins at the gym.
That was cool.
We had a great turnout, and people went after it.
They did. There was some
went after it, and then you had the idea afterward. Hey, let's do this every day. So I know, I think Brian Cash made it, and I made it for 30 days. And I remember on day 9 or 10, I'm traveling and on my way to some weddings, and got up early in the morning and got the workout in. And Brian's texting and saying, hey, it was past 8. This had to be like 26, 27, something in there. And he's like, I'm thinking of taking this on. I'm going to keep going. And I read it to my wife, and she's like, oh, he's crazy. This is crazy. And my heart sank and my gut started turning. I'm like, am I going to do it with him? Okay, let's see what we can do here. Made it to like 33.
Yeah.
And I checked out.
Well,
so what you are doing is absolutely huge.
It's been great. I got to credit my wife for putting up with it, because it is, it puts a lot on her, right? Because it's just something we know we got to do every day. But bless her heart, there's some days when she can tell I am beat down and broken, that she'll say, let's do a partner wad. So I'll get online, look for a partner hero wad. I'll send it to her, and she's like, I'm in. So
I was going to say, how do you program that? How does it work? Is it just by feel, or do you program it?
It is totally by feel. Because, when we did the first 30 days, it was pre-programmed. Like, this is what we're doing. And as you remember that 30 days, you were beat up some days, and you're like, I got to do thrusters again.
Yeah.
But.
And I know for me, and I know you didn't do this, but for me, I had to scale some of it. Right. There were times where I was in the hotel room or wherever it may be.
You were forced
scaling
to.
some weight.
Yeah.
And there was other times, quite frankly, when I think it was 225-pound squat cleans for like 3 in a row, and something I hadn't worked on very much over the last 2 years. And I hit the first few rounds, and then I started failing. So I had to back off. I went down to 215 or 205.
Gotcha.
Probably went to 185. But yeah, you haven't done that.
I have not yet, and that's the goal. Do 365 days of RX hero wads. But yeah, I do it by feel. So if I wake up one morning and I'm like, because there's been actually a morning that I've had a fever. There's been a morning that I've been sick the night before, where I've had to pick something that is like maybe an every minute on the minute for 10 minutes and do what I can.
Still knocking it out.
Still trying. But I'm trying to stay RX with it. But there's some heavy ones and there's some long ones. And frankly, there's some CrossFit hero wads that I just can't do, like physically can't do. So those are out. But it's been fun so far. And then we have the event on April 8th and 9th that I know we're in on.
Yeah.
And that is 24 hours of hero wads.
24 hours of 24 hours.
24 of 24. So every hour on the hour, we'll kick off another hero wad. We'll be programming that one very particular. And we know we're probably going to have to scale those.
Yeah.
So
going to be some. I know
that'll be I'm trying to do 365 days of RX. So one of those has got to be RX. But man, there's just some that are going to be no way, right? When you're an hour 18 and it's calling for something like a 185-pound squat clean, you're like, maybe, it's 3 a.m. Maybe I'll go with 135, So.
And that's going to be fun, and that's going to be open to anybody, right?
anybody that's willing to take it on, or anybody really that wants to just drop in for a couple.
Yeah.
Right. Just to keep kind of us company. We'll have that group of people that are coming in to do the 24 of 24, and that's going to take all of us kind of pushing each other. But yeah, if somebody wants to pop in at 3 p.m. and do something with us, join us.
Get a couple hours in.
Yeah, get a couple hours in.
Go grab some food.
Yeah.
Get out, come back.
Yeah, and then you have fun.
Yeah, you guys are on your own.
But it's going to be a grassroots kind of thing, like bring your own sleeping bag, bring your own cooler of food, bring your own supplements because you're going to need them to get through. But it's going to be that. See, that's the word. It's going to be fun, but it's going to be a total test.
It's going to be taxing.
Yeah, total test for sure.
Something to challenge everybody with when you get into the new year here. You know, maybe you start your training for that. You want to hit that. That's kind of a goal for you.
Yeah.
Come on training and, you know, whatever it is and whatever you want to train, you'll be able to kind of get your body ready.
Well, and that brings up a good point, right? January 1st is right around the corner. It's next week. And that's when people really kind of ramp up and they're like, you know what, this last year, I had a pretty good idea that I was going to really get after it. And then something happened January 2nd, and I fell off the wagon for the next 363 days.
Well, January 2nd was a Sunday last year. I can't work out on a Sunday.
Oh, see, that's a rest day.
But yeah,
anyway, so January 1st is coming up. What advice do you have for those people that are like, man, I just want to make a change? But and I'm talking about people that are coming straight off the couch, Trent. They're not. They haven't been doing much. They haven't been really watching what they're eating. What do you suggest?
I think that's
day one.
That's the worst part, right? is getting off the couch or getting out of your car or getting out of bed to do anything. That's kind of the worst thing to do. You just have to do it, man. Put one foot in the front of the other and just get up and go.
Right.
There's plenty of gyms that are open. The pandemic isn't here anymore unless you're in Pennsylvania.
It's all about that next workout.
Just get up. And, you know, you hear so many people say, oh, God, I didn't want to come. But thank you for getting me here and getting me going because
that's
I feel
the
so
hardest
much better
part.
afterward. Right.
That is the hardest part.
I think that's the thing is no matter what you want to do, the training program is there for you, and you can do it. Even that's getting up and taking a walk.
A walk.
Whatever
Start with a walk. That would be my advice to somebody getting off the couch. Go for a 20-minute walk.
Yeah.
At whatever pace you think. And then the next day, try to go for 21. You know? And we kind of did that last year, which you were successful with, which we had a quarter mile every day for a month.
Yeah,
and that turned out to be ridiculous.
That's good.
I didn't do it, by the way. I'm going to be straight up. I didn't finish that. It was you and Teresa. Basically, that actually nailed that.
Good job, Teresa.
Yeah, great job. That was
and it wasn't that bad, but I mean it was.
It was volume. It was volume.
Yeah. So,
but that was a very exaggerated case of what we're talking about now. Is just at a minute
every day.
Yeah. At a minute, and by the end of the month, you could walk for 50 minutes. Right, unless it's February, and then you're walking for like 48.
Yeah. Is it? I think it's 20.
Because we started at 20.
I think it's 29 days.
Oh, it's a leap year.
It's a leap year.
Oh,
got to add that next year.
Throw that leap year.
Glad we didn't do that this year.
Right.
Or last year.
Anyway, but that's good advice. And then diet-wise, what's some good advice for somebody that's just like, I want to make a change?
I think it depends on where you're at in life, right? So if you are somebody that's heavier set, you're needing to lose weight, there's only really one way to do it. You have to go into a caloric deficit. So you have to learn that.
What's that mean?
So where your metabolic rate where you're at, so your resting metabolism. Kind of
it set at a
easy
specific
rule of thumb. So how much do you weigh?
About 195.
195. So an easy rule of thumb is take 195 times 10.
Oh, that math can't even.
Yeah, that's tough. That's
tough. 1,950,000.
So keep it under that.
Oh,
yeah. So you know that's just a good rule of thumb that if you are somebody that
body weight times 10.
Body weight times 10. You're going to lay on the couch all day. You know, you're laying in bed all day. You're going to burn that amount of calories.
So I'm looking at 1,950 calories.
So
baseline.
So, you know, even if you're not working out, you'll be able to kind of see some body composition changes.
So
if you do
a caloric deficit. So keep it under.
Keep it under.
What are you shooting for? 500 per day under?
You know, just start with just get something manageable. Like if it's $100, if it's 100 calories less, it's 100 calories less.
Right.
Let's go manageable. Let's not make it so you're going to starve yourself or you're going to not do it tomorrow.
Right.
Because we want to be able to come back, build momentum. So,
and the reason I use 500, guys, is because 500 times 7 for a week is 3,500 calories. 1 pound of fat is 3,500 calories. That's why I use that.
Man.
Dropping knowledge on everybody. 3,500 calories. So
yeah, what would you do?
I would kind of, like we suggested, start small, especially if you're coming straight off the couch, right? You're wanting to make subtle changes, just get moving, right? And I'm not saying any workout regimen is better than the other. The best workout regimen for you is something that you can do every day, right? Something that you can stick to. Because we've all had these big ideas of grandeur, and then day 2 we're like, no, it's not something I enjoy or something that I like, right?
It hurts a little bit.
Yeah. I'm too sore to do anything. Right?
I got to give a rest day.
So start small, and then, as far as somebody that's just trying to make some subtle changes, try to get things that you can just easily cut out, right? Soda.
Yeah.
That's one you can easily cut out. So move from soda to water, right?
Yep.
You're cutting down sugar, and you're cutting down probably unwanted calories. And then just start.
Even diet soda.
Yeah. Right? Because it can raise blood sugar level.
Get rid of that.
So just things like that, easy things I can cut out.
So I had a buddy a couple years ago that he did it was New Year's, and he wanted to drop some weight. And he did 3 things. He dropped no more soda for 3 months. He did this.
Yeah.
Soda, potato chips, or French fries.
Oof.
He got rid of those out of his diet.
Right. Easy.
Well, 3 things.
Easier said than done.
It
but
is.
It's easy things to pick out.
Yeah. Those were the 3 things. Soda, potato chips, French fries. And he dropped 20 pounds in 3 months.
Right.
Not working out, not doing anything.
It probably felt good.
Just diet.
Yeah.
So it can be done.
And then important things to focus on, right? Moving. Diet we can clean up, getting sleep, and drinking water, right? Those 4 things. Make sure you're trying to shoot for that 8 hours of sleep that nobody gets, but we all try to get.
So
right?
now I know you struggle there.
I do.
Yeah. So
Yes.
how do you attain 8 hours? Because I don't struggle. My head hits the pillow. I'm out. Now I got to wake up and pee like 10 times a night anymore.
That's old. Yeah.
That's just But
now obviously we try to go to bed early, and we try to keep the same routine, right? So bed early, keep the same routine, and then try to get as close as I can to 8 hours. Like 8 hours doesn't happen for me mostly.
Yeah.
But try to get. I can tell, like, if I hit 7, I feel good. If I'm below 6, I can feel it, right? But yeah, it's a work in progress. And I think as I get older, it might get worse, but we work on it.
Your schedule, though, has changed. So
My schedule has changed.
That kind of did some of it, didn't it?
So yeah, that used to be on a 24-hour shift schedule, which made it really tough, especially where I worked, just because we were up a lot of the night running calls. But now that I'm on a Monday through Friday schedule and I'm home every night, it makes it a lot easier, and my body feels so much better that I'm not on the rig and stepping off all the time. But
now, one thing with sleep. So did you see Arnold Schwarzenegger a few years ago? And he gave the college commencement speech.
Okay.
And he told the kids in there, he's like, these people telling you to eat 8 hours a day.
Do it in his voice. Yeah.
I don't have a good one. Can you get it? But yeah, Arnold, he says to sleep faster.
Sleep faster.
You don't have 8 hours. You got to work. Yeah, that was terrible. I got a little bit of something else going on. But yeah, so he says, what do you say to Arnold? I mean, this guy's huge.
Yeah.
But he's saying sleep faster. 6 hours. Get your butt up and go.
I wish I could, but I can feel it.
Yeah.
And on those days where I get 8, I feel tremendous, right? So that's always the goal.
Do you ever get more? How do you feel after that?
I can feel groggy if I sleep a ton, but lately, that doesn't really happen.
That doesn't happen.
Nah.
Because over break, I'm not gonna lie, I had a day or two over this, just kind of lounging around, where I probably got 8.5, 9 hours.
That's pretty awesome.
But I felt terrible.
Yeah,
I wasn't moving and up and at them, and I did not feel good.
Right.
So I think if I keep it around, like you say, that 7 to 8, perfect. And I'm not Arnold. I can't go 6. That doesn't work for me.
I wish I could, because I'd hit that a lot of the times, right?
Yeah.
But another thing, talking about sleep, is we're talking about maybe this January 1st. We're getting into it. We're attacking it. We're like, I'm going after this, right? Overtraining. I can overtrain, and the first thing that gets affected when I overtrain is sleep. And I can't fall asleep. I wake up early, and I know it's coming up. And usually it's my wife that reminds me. I'll have a couple crappy days, and she's like, "Are you overtraining?" Because usually that leads to me being sick. So
with this regimen you're on right now with the Hero Wads, have you felt that? Have you had it?
Yeah, the Hero Wads and I'm doing it for a reason, right? I had a
Right.
buddy who died, who served in the Marines. His name was Patrick Mahan. We do a fundraiser for him every year so we can give out a scholarship. Hardline gives out a scholarship in his name to students here at Wiggins. Anyway, I'm doing 365 days of Hero Wads in his memory. So I have a good reason to do it, but it's not the best thing for your body. I wouldn't suggest anybody do it. And the reason is
January 1st, getting off the couch.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
The reason is, like, I tested strength and I knew how I felt on day 1, and come day 210, I'm probably not as strong and I might not be as fit. And you would think after 200 days of straight working out, you'd think, man, I bet they're fit.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, because you have no time to recover and you're actually just kind of compounding. And I'm probably less fit, probably endurance wise. I'm okay, right? Because I've got to go for long for sometimes, but I say strength wise and like anaerobic metabolic conditioning wise, I'm probably not as fit, but I've got to finish this out, right?
So what are you doing to recover?
Sleep is the big one, right? Just trying to eat as much and as well as I can.
What does that look like for you at this point?
Well, basically that is just trying to be smart with my choices, and I eat till I don't feel hungry anymore, just because the calorie wise, I'm up more. I don't track anymore. Just eat how I feel. I do fast. So I still fast that 16-8 hour schedule. And I just feel better doing it that way. But yeah, the 365 days of Hero Wads is not the best thing, right? But there's days where I program how I feel and I can kind of program something less intense, kind of as like a rest day, even though I'm moving.
So your nutrition, are you trying to get more carbs, more protein, fats? Where does that kind of sit?
More carbs. Yeah, more carbs, just so I have some energy to utilize while I'm working out. Because there's just some days like you work out and motivation wise, it's not there.
Now that intermittent fasting. So with your workouts, when do you do the workout? When do you eat? How does that work?
It depends. Because a lot of times it's based on my work schedule. So I used to be an AM workout guy, and now I'm probably more of an afternoon workout guy. So that fast doesn't really bother the workout.
Okay.
Right. So
getting a little fuel before.
Right. So I'm eating lunch usually before, and then I'm usually going. Or sometimes at work, I'm able to work out up to the end of my fast, and then I'm basically just eating lunch. So it doesn't affect me as much. Yeah.
So I did the intermittent fasting with you. I know we tried this and it was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
But that's just one thing, guys, is that Ryan's a 9 to 5 guy, right? I mean, he's working every day, but he's still being able to get this in. So I know we all are busy. Everybody's busy, but we all have excuses. Oh, I'm too busy to do it.
I got plenty of excuses for a lot of that.
But he's getting it in. Yeah. You're getting it in.
Yeah.
And so I tried intermittent fasting and loved it and did it for a couple of years. But what I found hard was I'd work out in the morning. Because as in my profession, back then I was teacher, coach, did it all. So the only time I really had for myself was the morning.
Right.
So if I would eat in the morning, right after I was done working out, my 8 hours would be done by 3:30. Now I went on to coach basketball or whatever we were doing and go to games, and then or come home from practice, and my family would sit down and eat, and I wasn't able to sit there with them. So it started to become really cumbersome for me. And so I tried to change it up and do different things.
Yeah,
to
like
it.
12 to 12 days.
Yeah, just doing different things. So for me, the intermittent fasting became something that was kind of, it didn't really work for my lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I had to find carb cycling, and that's where I found and kind of got my niche in that, and was able to sustain my body basically 365
And that caloric need changes day to day.
Daily,
right?
Depending on your workload.
Right.
So it's something that I have found that works for me. So no matter what you guys have out there, paleo, intermittent fasting, keto, I think everything can work for you. You just got to find something that works for you.
And the reason why intermittent fasting works for me, because it works in my schedule, and I'm not smart enough or have the patience to track, right? So whereas on your stuff, if you're organized, you can track calories.
You don't have to be a doctor.
Oh,
no,
gotcha.
You don't.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
Let me put that out there. But man, MyFitnessPal's free. Get that.
Yeah.
Put it in. Measure your food for a few weeks. You figure it out, and then.
I guess it probably gets easier. You kind of know, right?
It takes about 3 weeks to a month to kind of figure out, and then you're good to roll.
Gotcha. Yeah. So there's choices for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get out there and do it.
Get out
You
there
want
and
to
do
make
it.
a change, do it.
Yeah.
Research a little bit.
And that can be down the road when we're talking about people getting off the couch on January 1st. Make those subtle changes, French fries, chips, and soda, right? Boom, boom, boom. Start feeling good. Now you're serious. Now you've built this routine, right? You've made it a habit. What do they say? 3 weeks to create a habit?
3 weeks to create a habit. 21 days.
Yeah. So create this habit, create this good eating habit, and then you can kind of dial it in, right? Because speaking of doctors, we're all our best doctor. Right.
You know how you feel better than anybody else.
Right. And you know what works for you and you know what doesn't work for you.
Yep.
And that's what's great about intermittent fasting, carb cycling, paleo, carnivore, anything like that, right? You can do it for 3 weeks, do it for a month, see how you feel. Do I feel good? Do I feel bad? Right.
Yeah. Experiment with different things. See what your body feels, see what it takes.
And you can do that in the gym. You can do it in your diet. You can do it in many, many places, right? So with strength workouts, with Metcons, anything. So very cool. Very cool. Yeah.
Well, what do you think?
Podcast number 1.
Pretty good.
I think that's pretty good. I mean, I'm no Jocko, I'm no Joe Rogan, but will be someday.
Oh, it'll be the Hardcast experience pretty quick.
So, if you've made it this long with us, totally appreciate it. This is the inaugural one. We're kind of just letting it fly off the cuff, basically.
Yeah.
See how it goes. We will be lining up guests as we go.
And Mom, let's see what you want to know.
Yeah.
Mom, what do you want us to talk about next week?
Drop it in the comments. Drop it in the comments. We'll have people working our back end next time. They can drop in comments. We can see what's going on.
We're going to have a production crew?
Yeah, we're going to have a production crew. And then see, I drop in that lingo like, hey, we're going to work the back end. That's going to be Captain Corsentino. I mean, the guy is the man. He knows what's going on. He can be like, hey, somebody in the comments said you guys sound like idiots. And we'll be like, well, good on them. But agree. Do something. And then we can bring it up on yours because you could work the back end.
We can work this. Perfect.
But yeah, so today we're kind of just seeing what kind of interest we have. We have interest. We can just do this podcast for your mom, basically. I'm good with it. Yeah. We can talk. We can talk about anything. We have some people that we're going to try to get on. Like I said, it's not always going to be health and fitness oriented. It can be a bunch of different.
You want to talk NASCAR? We'll talk NASCAR. I don't know anything about NASCAR.
I had know nothing about NASCAR. Though that's where we're going to get somebody with a NASCAR expert.
I know a few guys.
So, I guess it's time.
Time to go.
But anyway, we'll see how it goes. We're going to try to do this weekly. So next week, I don't know, maybe Monday. Because you guys are off of school and I'm off. So next Monday, we're going to try to do it maybe around the same time. What's good with these podcasts, excuse me, being on YouTube, they're streamed live and then they're archived. You're busy at 10 a.m. You're working. That's all right. Come back to it. Right. And then we'll try to get this on
a lot of clicks later on in the day. Yeah. You're bored.
Yeah. We're going to get a lot of views
at 5:30.
Yeah. A lot of views coming from this Hardcast podcast. Anyway, and then we'll try to get on, Apple Podcasts, anything like that, where you can go back. The only thing good about YouTube is you can see us, right? And that's what you want. You want to be able to see our faces. You want to be able to see how we're interacting with each other.
We have faces for TV.
We'll get it on Apple Podcasts. You can just hear our voices. Our voices are like angels. So I've been told.
Silky smooth.
Yes, silky smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Welcome to the Hardcast podcast. Anyway, so we'll go from there, but we're going to shoot from around the same time next week. Maybe Captain Corsentino can work our back end. Drop some things in the comments if you want to hear anything.
Work in the back end in radio terms. In radio terms.
Of the
podcast
terminology. Yeah. I guess I was a little loose.
The lingo, but
I was a little loose with the back end. Anyway, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, because we are in a school and there's probably tons of people watching right now and listening with kids in the room. If your kids are in the room, just be careful.
Yeah.
Because
you have that volume button right
you
there.
never know. And we can't beep. We don't have a little delay where I can beep Trent when he cusses or anything like that.
Yet. So, we don't have it yet.
Yeah, we will. We will once we get big enough. Anyway, guys, first inaugural podcast of the Hardcast podcast. We want to thank you for coming. For Trent Kerr and for myself, we want to thank you, and we'll see you next week. Appreciate it. Captain Corsentino. He's in the room. He'll hit hands.
Captain Corey.
Did I say Corey?